Good morning, everyone. Hello, Araceli. Kate, I was just talking some housekeeping, explaining to Kate, who didn't come last week, that our work will be mainly done in class. So, for example, you will have lots of tasks, yes, but you will have activities, yes, tasks will be uploaded, but you will have online activities, yes, and online activities imply that you have to work there, just prepare something short and upload to Educandos, and therefore you won't be doing long tasks anymore, hopefully. No, and then we will be working in class, but working in class means you have 20 minutes, summarize and present, fill in a chart and present, yes, so that we go quickly and we really take advantage of the time in class. So online activities, they're called like that. Online activities, they have a participation grade, and therefore you will be participating there. Yes, here, participate in online activities. And there are certain tasks, but short tasks. The most important thing is that you will be working in your projects, developing your project, thinking. So everything you read, how can I apply this to my project? Being proactive in that sense. And then also applying that to the second project we will be doing in November in this integrated evaluation project. So you will be thinking always proactively how to apply everything you're reading about. Okay, just that as housekeeping. Do you have any questions? So I just skimmed your abstracts, but I think we need to revise a little bit before we go on. Abstract writing is a special kind of writing. It is done by the end of the study, whenever you have everything finished, because there is a component there that you in this module don't have yet. You haven't done, because you haven't done the study yet. So there are no results. We don't have results. Whatever you have, and I think you were referring to that point in your writings, what you have is some insight, a little insight, ¿sí? Una comprensión, aunque sea pequeña, of everything or a part of what was written about the topic. So what you did was a literature research. Yes, you read literature, you investigated a little bit, and that is what you have, some background information apart from literature review. And therefore, that's the information you have, but you don't have your data, your results. So the abstract writing will also be done in progress. Now you will revise again the sections within the abstract, and you will be writing your abstract with the elements you have. So we cannot talk about results, about data collection, not yet, but we will be doing that in progress. So that's only the thing. That's the only thing I have to say. You also have to write this abstract for the evaluation, the integrated evaluation, and that is a project that is only a simulation. Yes, so because there's no time to carry it out. But by learning the structure of the abstract, you're learning a lot also to understand everything you're reading from now on to complete your projects. So up to now, pre-research projects. And this is taken from the rubrics. What did we have? We had, of course, a cover page, a table of contents, a little bit of introduction. That is what you wrote last semester. You received feedback. So the last feedback I sent you in July, I think it was the 15th of July. I have those versions, yes. Yo tengo las versiones finales de ustedes con el feedback, pero ya no le vamos a llamar más feedback, ¿sí? Feedback hacia atrás, sino ahora se va a llamar feed forward, o sea, retroalimentación para adelante, para mejorar hacia adelante. Aún esa última versión que ustedes presentaron tiene feed forward. ¿Por qué? Porque yo no lo tomo como que es final, es el final, sino es otro estadio del proyecto que va a seguir este semestre. Entonces, están todos aprobados, tienen sugerencias de mejora hacia adelante. Yo tengo esas versiones, estaban en Educandos, pero ya se borró. Por lo tanto, yo tengo esas versiones que voy a mandarlas por grupo para que sigamos de ahí hacia adelante. Feed forward. ¿Ok? Y de ahora más todas las retroalimentaciones hacia adelante. Feed forward. ¿Yes? No es feedback, porque no está terminado. La última versión terminada es la que entregamos a fines de 2022 después de haber defendido a la biblioteca. Ahí ya no puedo seguir corrigiendo. Esa es la última. Como esté, ahí se entrega. Entonces, ahí ya sí no habrá, pero mientras estemos en este estadio, tenemos feed forward, siempre una oportunidad hacia adelante, una mejora hacia adelante. Ok, ¿is it clear? ¿Está claro esta explicación del feed forward? Ok, entonces estamos siempre en procesos, process writing. What do we have up to now? Background information, you select, you talk to people, yes, jefe de UTP, teachers, you talk to different people, just to research some information from the setting, the schools, where are the schools, what are they doing in schools, the situation, the experiences of people, what was a little information. Then you have the research problem. We worked together to elaborate this research problem. Yes, we went through stages from a big problem with dissect the different areas of the problem. You decided on one area. We cannot study everything. And research questions. One step forward is to have objectives. We are going to go from the questions to objectives and be able to work flexibly, yes, because they are very much related. And basic literature review, you revised something around the topic, some more information there, some connections between what the literature says and what you found in the reality, and very brief methodological framework because you knew very little. This is what we are going to continue. So this is everything we have. Everything we have. We don't have data collected. We didn't do interviews to collect data, yes, analysis, and we don't have data analyzed by any means, and we don't have results. So our abstracts up to now will have only this information, but that's why I want you to read again, right, and elaborate an outline, and I will show you how to think of an outline. So far, your turn. Pre-research projects. So far, where are you in this according to these elements that we have? Who would like to explain briefly the state of your research project, pre-research projects? So this is we have not carried out the research project. Yes, we didn't do it. Moreover, it is a pre-project because it's only a section of the project. We don't have it complete. We still need to develop the methodology. We still need to develop everything that belongs to methodological framework, population, sample, instruments for data collection, data analysis. So still we have a lot to go, yes? So this is a section of a project. Nevertheless, you can tell me something of what you already have. So just to remember briefly, reread what you have written. Genesis. Anyone who wants to start? Barbara. Just tell me your problem or a research question. What would you like to share?
About my or our project, my project with Javiera. The problem or the question of the
yes, so the problem, yes, the states you are at.
If I say if I talk about my project, each presentation have my example. Yeah, the last
Your
week
example.
I talk about you asked
Yes,
me,
I asked
yeah,
you.
so each one can give you their problem, girls.
Yes, everyone. Yes, everyone can give me the problem. Yes, of course, we are sharing. That's the invitation for all of you. So briefly, the problem.
Yeah.
We are all talking, girls. Araceli, Javiera. We have several people working together here. Genesis.
Teacher, my project with Araceli and Kate, the problem is in Spanish or English?
English. This section is English.
Use of concrete material in subject mathematics subject of
concrete materials to teach. Yes, mathematics. Oh, wait a minute.
Mathematics subject.
In first and second grade.
Yes. In a school, in rural school.
In a rural school, yes. Yes, okay. Oh, that's very big. Okay, yeah, so that's a problem. The use order, okay. Thank you, and we have lots of represent. The study is very represented. Alejandra. Yours was
our problem was the reinvention of the teacher in the hybrid methodology, I think. I don't remember very well.
Yes, of teachers using the hybrid methodology.
Hybrid methodology.
Yes, this is an excellent. All of them are excellent. This is very current. So whereas, for example, Araceli, Javiera, Kate could find much more materials, background information, and also literature. This project is a little bit, it has less just because it's been, materials are being written in this at this moment. So the reinventions by using the hybrid methodology. Yes, this is very new, very current. Literature is being written, as I said, so you have a challenge there. But this is a great topic because it can be more more pertaining to reality and to what we are living today. So it's very current. It is necessary that we continue researching that area. And Genesis was the preparation. I don't know what I can help you.
How teachers are prepared to use technology in online classes.
Yes, teachers preparation to
use TICs.
Yes, to use technology. Yes, yes. To use technology, to use, whatever. What did I do? In virtual classes. Yes, we have to continue updating ourselves. And finally, Barbara, was the rural education, I remember.
Yes, the connection, no, the problems in rural education in pandemic times.
Yes, problems in rural education. In rural education during the pandemic, yes. During the pandemic, yes. So as you can see, the emerging, we have different emerging topics, and it's rural education, or let us say not only rural education, but education that is not urban necessarily, concentrated in big centers, big cities, Santiago, for example, and more to the periphery, let us say, in areas in which is less, these areas in the country are less studied. For example, the Maule region is less studied than metropolitan region in this country. And related to virtual classes, technology, hybrid methodology, yes, and the pandemic. So those are those three big themes I see, and I think this will be a great insight. This will give us insight, ¿sí? Una visión profunda in something in our experiences, also in teaching, in practicum. Also giving voice to teachers, to professionals that do not have voice and are not being studied, yes, by the Ministry of Education, for example. So I am having great expectations that next year we can organize a forum, for example, invite all the teachers, so that you can share your results. Because I think these results, and also professors at university, will be glad to listen to you, because this comes really from the center. This comes from these studies, come from your experiences as future teachers in contexts that are not the most studied, yes, or the ones that appear most in literature. So so it's a great, so I think all of your ideas are great. I want to support all of your ideas, and hopefully we will carry these studies out and have the results by next year. In 1 year, we will be speaking about these projects, their results, and probably organizing this forum for you to show back to your schools, to show back to these contexts what you have found. So I think that motivates me a lot, because I think you're really contributing to knowledge, even from your humble position with a little tiny sand grain. You are un grano little de arena. You are contributing to knowing something, to get to know something new, something relevant. And remember, we are agents of change in a way. And hopefully we will be able to give back to the settings, to the school settings, everything we have learned from them, yes, and influence that setting, hopefully. So we can show show different skeptical people that teaching is a profession that can bring changes, and not only repeat everything that has been done before. So hopefully we will carry them out. We will carry the studies out. But up to now, we only have the problem, we have questions. So we have to refer to what we have. yes, and a slight idea of the methodology. Now you will work with, you will read something also to decide between qualitative and quantitative in general terms, so that next Wednesday we are prepared to read more about quantitative. Yes, okay. All right, brainstorming. So abstracts, you already know something, but let me know how much you know.
About the abstract is a part in a document where explain the main idea of the project.
The main idea. So it's a written document. Well, no, it's a it can be only a paragraph, we can say. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Sometimes it's longer. A written paragraph. And remember, we don't always have a results. Yes. So for example, I had to write a project. Yes, I sent to for Fondesit in April, and I also had to write an abstract. And of course, I don't have the study conducted. Yes, I only have the problem. Yes, the question, the methodology. And that is the abstract. Yes, so I don't need results. I need to include results, of course, when I am publishing, because I have got to the end of the process and I am publishing the study with results and conclusions and inferences and future change and contributions and blah, blah. So I can get to that point and publish and write a complete abstract, but I can also write an abstract with a project, something I'm going to do in the future with the elements I have. So it is possible to write, yes, so only we have to concentrate on the elements we have. So a written paragraph that summarizes, Barbara?
Yes, I write it for the main idea or the topic of the
topic and problem. Yes.
Of the research, the document.
Of the research project. Yes. The research project. Whenever it is finished, of course, I have problem, topic, and results, conclusions. Yes, when it is, but it's a summary. It is a summary, and you need to be very attentive, and that's why we are really repeating this topic, because we couldn't explain in full last week, because you're analyzing the abstract to decide whether this an article is important for your study, for your literature review. Remember, we continue with the literature review. We did some literature review in the past semester. We continue this semester. So it's vital. You don't have so much time. So you read, analyze the abstract analytically and say, okay, this is what I'm looking for or not. Then you go to another stage and you read the introduction, remember? And probably in the introduction you have more information, you decide not to continue reading the article, or you decide to continue reading. So it's basic that by reading, analyzing the abstract, you decide quickly on the importance of the article. So it's basic. And then you will be writing, of course, hopefully you will be writing lots of abstracts to present your work in congresses, in forums, probably also publishing. Why not? So next year, by this time, we will be talking about this topic, remember, hopefully. So a written paragraph that summarizes the main topic and problem of the research project. And also you will be writing your final abstract version to defend your thesis, yes, your proyecto de grado, and finally handing it in to the library. So at that point, we will also be revising again the abstract and polishing all the details and all the with results, with conclusions, contributions, everything, future research and everything. So the abstract is something we will always go back and forth, yes, reconsidering, and we might need it. Yes, we might need it along the process, because even when we don't have a project finished, we can still add elements and still present what we have, even when it is in progress, for example. Okay, so the abstract is important. We will always be going back and forth with it. So to it. Okay, so what do you remember of the abstract we analyzed last class? Dr. Kember and his students created an instrument. Do you remember? To help measure the depth of reflections. What did the abstract show you? What do you remember? What was first? Everyone recognized that section. They started saying something like, there is very little material to analyze.
I remember that we talk about the instrument that use
So what is the beginning? The beginning of the what do they present? The big picture. Yes, the topic, the problem also. The big picture, there is something that, so they noticed there was something missing in academia. So that's great. Whenever you have such an insight, then you're good, because you have something to do and something to show humanity, yes, and academia. Sometimes it's not so evident, yes, but remember this abstract by Dr. Kember and his students, who are like 10. So they all appear in the article because they all worked. It was a long study. They went through different stages, so they worked as a team. So which was the first? Do you remember what is the first element?
Problem.
The problem, yes, the research problem. Yes, the problem, also the topic, but it's not wrong. The big topic, within the topic of virtual education, you're focusing on a sub-theme. Do you remember, Kumar? A sub-theme within the teaching of math. Yes, Araceli, Javier, and Kate are focusing on something specific, and there is a problem there. So topic is not incorrect. Second element. We said
Objective.
A big objective of the study. So we are going to analyze the use of concrete material, the experiences of teachers of different with different seniority in schools, and their use of TICs. Yes, that's Genesis, because we don't say all teachers, ancient teachers. No, we are saying teachers with seniority. Yes, con antigüedad. Remember, seniority. So to interpret, so Barbara, who's doing a phenomenology, will try to understand and interpret the experiences of teachers in rural education during the pandemic. And Alejandra will also try to understand how the teachers reinvent themselves in this new situation, in this new contingency of having to teach and follow probably old methodologies with new technology, with new settings. So you always have an objective from this, the question, you have an objective. We will see that movement in the next class, hopefully. Yes. Then the methodological framework. How are you going to do this? Yes, is this a quantitative, a qualitative, is a phenomenology? Yes, for example, it's the case study. You will study this case, a school, a class, a specific class. Or just to say, is it quantitative, qualitative, and then we will see, because you will see the details, yes, of each of them. And finally, that's it. Finally, the results, we don't have results yet, yes, but you think that by conducting a qualitative phenomenological study by means of, for example, in interviews, you are going to get to know the experiences of teachers in rural education during the pandemic. Yes? So you can express that very briefly, yes? Then we will go to analyze the results. This is a quantitative study, so they talk about the factor analysis and the alpha Cronbach, because those are specific data, quantitative data analysis procedures that you do by means of a program, yes. But of course, in qualitative research, you have other means of data analysis. So when we get to that section of the semester, you can add that. But it's a constant process. So up to now, we don't refer to the results, but we refer to all the elements we have. Okay, so that's as a revision from last class. So we said we can refer to the topic, the problem, briefly, yes, objectives. They come from the questions, yes, so they are related to the questions. To analyze the use, to remember objectives, thinking of, as we saw last semester in practicum, thinking of action verbs. Do you remember? We refer not to abstract verbs, but we refer to action verbs. Yes, like analyze, compare. What else? Identify, if there is a sub-objective at the level of identify, but it can also be design, different levels, yes, of objectives according to Bloom's taxonomy. And you also have that reference from last semester. Objectives and methodology. Methodology and results. We don't have results yet, but they will be added. They will be added in due time. What information do you think you should include? Very briefly, it is referred to the same you have from before.
The problem, the focus in the problem.
The problem and focus, yes.
The instrument maybe that used for
also the school, a little bit of the situation background. Remember, for example, Dr. Kember and his students mentioned a little bit of background. Oh, wait, sorry. They mentioned a little bit of background. So that can also be interesting. You are talking about special kinds of backgrounds. Rural schools. Yeah, so here, many courses, and we think they are talking about university courses in their area. They work in the area of nursing, I think, and general medical school. So they're mentioning the setting. So rural schools. So that's something you can also mention. Yes, and that's the setting. So information from the setting, very brief. So we don't add a problem focus setting. Yes, some information about the setting because it's very specific. Yes, it's a specific about rural education, when that setting is important. When you are studying, for example, one school, like Eileen and Alejandra did the practicum in una escuela multigrado, that's a setting of interest, for example. Yes, I am not mentioning, not referring to your study, but just giving an example that setting is important. Yes, so you can mention, ¿sí? Escuelas multigrado, una escuela multigrado en Chile, en un sector rural. So that is important to mention. The setting, since these studies are very much setting driven. Yes, specifically, as I said before, because they focus on very specific settings. So it's not all of the schools, they're rural schools in the area where we work, in the area where we live, and their special situations and experiences. So setting, and in this case, because we have a contingency, because we have the pandemic, so we have another line that can also be included. And there was, I think, another abstract, I'm going to look it up, from last semester, that was experiences of teachers in India in a specific time. So if time is, or contingency is an important topic, I can also add it. Yes, problem focus setting, and how can we say, setting is local setting, and time setting. So it's a special time. It's not just the reflection, like I studied the reflection of university students. My project, my internal project at university is during pandemic. So that's important. But the other project that I did for Fondesit does not mention that contingency. So it's more open, local setting and time setting, we can say, we can call it, but I am going to find this out. Time setting in the sense, a special time that we are, or contingent time also. Okay, I am going to find this out. Contingency, a contingency, in the case there is a contingency, yes. So the experiences of teachers during the pandemic, experiences of teachers 10 years ago, experiences of teachers during the earthquake time in Chile, for example. So that's contingent topics, information about contingency that may be important for your study, depending on what you are contingency topics or information. Any other information? All of the literature review, do we add everything from the literature review? What have you seen? The example that I showed? No, we don't add much about the literature review. Remember, that's in the article, for example, in the case it is an article or part of your presentation. So we don't add information from the literature review because we're interested in what is new. Yes, so we will add what other information? We said it here.
The methodology.
Yes, the methodological framework. All of the decisions in methodology that you're taking, framework, methodology framework.
And the conclusions.
And conclusions, yes, conclusions. You can also have something, as we said, something for some contribution for the future or future research. More research is needed, something like that. Conclusions and contributions. In some occasions, this is important. Yes, whenever you have finished and all of these wonderful results were applied in the improvement of the program, for example. Yes. Okay, so you will see that more or less all of the abstracts have this information. And you can also, by means of getting to read some websites, get to prepare an outline. And remember, an outline is like a plan. Yeah, so today everything is about planning. So one is research design, which is a plan, and abstract writing, for which we also have a plan. And remember that in research, mostly we are working according to plans, to organization, yes? So first of all, we organize the information in one way, in another. Then in order to fulfill the project, we also follow a plan. So everything is quite planned. The purpose, why do we write an abstract?
Give information about your research project.
To provide information, yes. Information about the research project, yes. Research project, mainly, yes, for information. This is important in many things you're going to do for many reasons, in case you want to present, yes. The Congress organizers will ask you, okay, so give me information about your work. Also, if you are applying for, I don't know, for future studies, yes, a committee, a master's committee will ask you, okay, so inform about some previous research projects you have participated in. And then also by having this practice of writing and working with abstracts, we will be able to summarize, yes? So it's a summary, condensed information. Okay, for the newcomers, good morning. We are analyzing the abstract just because now we are going to work in groups, but group work means group work, 10, 15 minutes, we have a product to show, yes? We were talking at the beginning that everything in the class will be done in class, presented, it will be finished and presented. De todos los trabajos se hacen en clases, se presentan, se terminan, se presentan. Because I need you to revise the abstracts that you uploaded to the forum. It doesn't matter, we will upload new abstracts, yes, with this complete view. So the groups will divide like this. In case we have more groups, well, we will repeat some website, it doesn't matter. The idea is that you search for information and you are able to get to produce, what is it? An abstract, an outline. So what can you see in the outline? The outline has sections, yes? So here you have a sample of an outline for an abstract. So you start the title, observations, so 3. So this is this background that we were talking about, setting, the time, if that is important, the problem, the topic, the big topic, the problem. Then we have the question, talking about the problem, we have the question, but in the form of a statement. Yes, as I said, like an objective. Yes. What also your objective, we said that already, we saw this in the previous example. What are you going to do? If you have a hypothesis, we said this is not obligatory. In case there is a hypothesis, there are certain studies that really are organized to prove hypothesis. We have not talked, we don't have those kinds of studies, but we will mention a bit of the methodology. You will see in the websites. And then we have results and conclusions. That's the last, those are the last sections. So this is one outline of an abstract. So this is what you need to produce in how many, 50. So you have, we will have 5 minutes, 10 minutes break and 10 more minutes to do this. So you read your websites and organize an abstract. Yes, this is a sample. Esto es un ejemplo, no tiene que ser igual a este. Van a leer y van a elaborar su propio outline. So the outline is this plan. What am I going to write in this piece of writing, this summary that the abstract is? So write your proposal. So each group will have a proposal. Yes, cada uno va a tener un outline. Yes, do we agree?
Yes, Miss.
Okay, so take 10 minutes break, bring coffee, bring something hot, go to the bathroom, and the other 10 minutes. So we will meet 9:20. You will revise the website. So I will copy this in the chat. How many people do we have to share to? So random groups, yeah. So it's just to write, or do you want to or do you prefer to work with your groups, so that you create this outline and you already decide how are you going to reorganize your outlines. So how many are we? We are 9. 3 groups of 3. 3 groups of 3. Or well, I will divide you in your groups already.
Now
so
we now we are divided or
yes, we will be divided. Yes.
Okay.
We will be divided.
For know what we need read.
To read. Yes. While you organize your work, I will show again. So remember, an outline is a plan. Yes. It's a plan, and this plan will be useful for you for everything you're going to write from now on. Yes. Remember, you have to write another outline for your integrated evaluation. You will have to rewrite this outline again next year when you have more elements to add for the final version of your project. So you will be constantly writing abstracts. And that's why we need an organization, yes? So this is one possibility, one sample. That's why I invited you to create your own abstract with your content, so that it is a guidance for you. Es una guía para ustedes, para que tengan la guía, porque van a tener que escribir. Moreover, you have to read abstracts. Siempre van a estar leyendo abstracts. Y ya con el plan, cómo se organiza un abstract, ya analizado, puedo analizar los abstracts que tenga que leer. So you will be able to analyze abstracts that you are going to read in the future for your project. So this is your time now to share your outline as you have it. ¿Sí? O sea, aunque esté incompleto el outline, lo pueden compartir para que veamos. Yes, and then you will write the abstract again. Cada uno de los abstracts lo van a volver a escribir y a subir al foro. Yes. Forum 1, remember. Yes, so publish again, new abstract. You write a new title, new abstract, and you upload your new abstract again. Yes, so this is what you will be doing this afternoon. It's short to write, so it doesn't take so long. Okay, who would like to share? For us to have an idea. So it is ready to share. Anyone? Alejandra? Come on, we need an example. Lucas. Even if it is not complete, please. Okay, well, here we continue.
Sí, ¿ya?
Yes.
Ya, primero identificamos el título de nuestro preproyecto. Luego incorporamos una pequeña introducción, que sería eso hasta students. Luego,
entonces ahí en la introducción tenemos, which elements do you have in this introduction? The topic, the problem.
Yes, the problem of this project.
Yes.
In
the setting, el
yes.
lugar. Entonces tenemos
Yes.
un tema grande, el problema y el lugar específico. Okay.
Yes.
So those are important elements in the abstract. Okay, next.
Next, there is the objective or the purpose.
The purpose.
Yes.
This project
Yes. And
then the
methodology.
Yes, methodology.
Okay, yes. So that is great. And that is what you need to have. Yes. Up to now, these are the elements that all of your projects already have. So they did the other way around, but they can have an outline. So here below, you can write your outline. Yes. So introduction, topic, problem, setting. Then second part, a purpose, objective. And then finally, methodology, results, conclusions. Okay, so you can have your outline from the analysis of what you read. Okay, excellent. Okay. Anyone else would like to share? So there's no right or wrong. This is an instrument for you. Es un instrumento para ustedes. No estamos evaluando. So it's your participation. And we said, everything we do in class, we finish in class. Otherwise, this is extra time for you. Para que no sea extra tiempo de trabajo. Okay, anyone else? Liselda, okay. So explain to us the outline. Which is the outline? Which is ¿Cómo sería el outline? ¿Cómo serían las secciones de este abstract?
Okay, there is the objective.
The objective.
And then we have the problem.
The problem.
And then which is the next step, Miss?
Methodology, but it's not in the past. No está en el pasado porque todavía no lo hicimos al proyecto. So methodology, the methodology that will be used in this research is oriented the qualitative approach through interviews. Okay, perfect.
And the conclusion.
But we don't have conclusion, yes, because conclusion means we have finished, yes. No conclusions. O sea, la conclusión no es la conclusión que nosotros podemos ir teniendo de lo que vimos en la literatura, por ejemplo. No, es la conclusión de haber hecho y no lo tenemos. O sea que ahí no tenemos conclusión. Pero por eso, teniendo un plan, el outline, yo sé que en el futuro voy a necesitar incluir mis resultados y mis conclusiones. Sí, Griselda, por eso es que lo estamos haciendo de nuevo. No tenemos conclusiones todavía. Esa parte está, no va. ¿Ok? Ok. Entonces, perfect. You can explain. So, anyone else has an outline? Do you have the plan, like the outline I showed you? El plan el outline les va a servir para todo lo que tengan que hacer y también para analizar otros abstracts. O sea, si lo entienden, lo pueden hacer, pero el outline es ese instrumento para ustedes para hacerlo más rápido. Es simplemente eso. Ok, entonces el outline, el abstract que van a subir no tiene resultado, no tiene conclusiones, tiene solamente hasta metodología. Okay, excellent. Another example you would like to share? Alejandra, Eileen, do you have anything to share? Okay, so there you show me, you can organize your abstract. So this is good. Remember, you can have certain differences, but you always have these elements, okay? So you have a title, this introduction, the question or the problem and the question or the purpose, yes? We want to find out or analyze or in the sense of a sentence, then the results, the conclusions, and the methodology, methodology in the middle. Okay, so this is a general idea, yes? A general plan. But once you have all your abstracts revised, please upload them again to forum 1. So we need to read new abstracts in which you don't have results, you don't have conclusions yet, okay? All right, so now we have, we are starting a new area of this unit, and we will concentrate on quantitative, qualitative research. We will begin with the big picture of research design. So what is a design? What do you know about this? And you know a little bit because you read Walliman. Do you remember reading Walliman? The first chapter of Walliman talks about designs in research, diseños de investigación. We also had a brief explanation of Kumar, yes, different research types, designs according to objectives. So this is not new for you, not new. Research design is an important step in methodology, in research, because of what I was saying before. We need a plan, we need organization. And that is why we have a design. So what research design, what is research design and why is it useful? ¿Por qué tenemos un diseño? And why is it useful? The same in Spanish. You can think in Spanish and look for words in English. Why do we need a design?
For be organized in the,
yes,
presentation in the, I don't know, for
a design, yes, to carry out.
Yes, and also we can have if we are organized with the structure,
Yes.
we can catch, tomar todas las ideas.
We can take advantage of ideas. Yes, of course, of course. So organization is important for carrying out the research. And also what Barbara is saying, she means it is important to be rigorous, para ser rigurosos, and also to carry out the whole project in a correct way. Yes, that's something that we would read in Kumar and different authors. So, so we need to be organized. Take a, do not let any, that's what she says, I think, we do not let any detail go away and probably lose rigor. Yes, o sea, la rigurosidad que habíamos leído brevemente en el texto en español el miércoles pasado, la rigurosidad con la que se debe conducir el proyecto. So we need a design to be organized in the research project and to be rigorous. And this is a word that will appear a lot in review. It's a difficult word, but it will appear a lot in literature in English, okay? All right, so we need to be rigorous. We need to follow step by step. So I cannot jump stages. ¿Recuerdan el semestre pasado cuando nos saltábamos alguna parte? Teníamos que volver hacia atrás. En la investigación no podemos saltarnos pasos. Si no hicimos un paso bien, tenemos que volver atrás. So that's it. And how do you select a design? Okay, rigorous. Okay, rigorous. ¿Cómo se selecciona? How do I select? So I organize my research according to what? For example, think of examples of real life. In medicine, different research teams were researching about the vaccine, for example, yes, the efficacy of the vaccine. And there are researchers that are at the university who are researching the reading in how do you move your eyes. I don't know, for example, the reflections of students. So how do you select the design according to those examples? Is the
Teacher,
same?
maybe shows the design select depend of the topic.
Yes, excellent. So the design depends on the topic. It's not the same an experiment with a vaccine than a research with reflections from students. Of course, it's a world of difference. So the design depends on the topic, yes, and the big picture. And then what else? What else is it dependent upon? It depends on the topic. What else? This is very big. Ahora un poco más pequeño que el gran tema.
This I'm thinking the more general to plural, to the plural. I don't know. For example, yeah, the general, like a topic, and then arrive to the specific theme that we need.
Yes,
explain.
and what is more specific than the big topic? The big topic is very general, and what is more specific? You have it in your abstract.
The conclusion will be could be.
No. Not so far. No, not so far. ¿Qué viene luego del gran tema? ¿Se acuerdan que teníamos el tema y luego hasta achicábamos a qué?
Areas.
Areas, yes, and
la pregunta de investigación.
Pero un poquito antes, the research problem. Kate tiene razón, no la pregunta todavía, pero un poquito antes, el problema. Yes, the research problem, Yes, and the question. Yes, excellent, Kate. And the research question. Entonces, yes, of course. So I need to pay attention to all of this in order to design my research. Yes, it is not the same. Absolutely. What's my topic, my problem? Which population I am working with? Who are the participants? So everything will come around when I decide the design. Okay, so we're talking a big picture. And the research designs that you have seen in education, for example, what have you read in education? What have you read in your literature reviews, in your apps, in your articles? Por ejemplo, ¿qué diseño en educación have you read about? Do you remember any?
Research qualitative, qualitative and quantitative.
Yes. So qualitative and quantitative. Have you seen any research that is, I don't know, exploratory or descriptive? Have you read anything about that? Qualitative and quantitative. Yes, at one stage. We are going to see, we are going deeper into that. Quantitative research projects. Yeah, research. Yes. So in general, very general. Within qualitative, we could have seen some descriptive or interpretive, explanatory. For example, the example I was giving you. The example I was giving you with teachers in India, that's an example. We read the abstract last semester, was an explanatory, yes? So explanatory research, trying to explain the experiences of teachers teaching during pandemics, for example. But you will see now in more depth, because the abstract might have that information as well, yes? Whenever you're talking about, if you're talking about hypothesis, then you know that's a specific kind of methodology. If it is qualitative, it might include there the specific approach and the that design, the general design, whether it is descriptive or explanatory or exploratory. Yes, you will have different. So that explanation, that can also be included in the abstract, in the design. Okay, so what is this research design? This was adapted from chapter 7. So now we are reading chapter 7 onwards in Kumar. I uploaded it again to Educandos. So a research design is a plan. So again, as we have an outline to write the abstract, we have a plan to follow the project. Yes, it's a structure, a strategy. Yes, to obtain answers. If we don't follow a plan, then we don't. What Barbara was saying, we are going to miss something. Yes, we are not going to have the answers to our questions, to the problem. It's also a blueprint, and the blueprint I learned also by watching a video with project-based for facilitating. A blueprint is the plan, es el plano de la casa, por ejemplo. They were talking about building a house, project-based teaching and learning. And there was a person talking to the children about blueprints, and I learned because I had another idea of blueprint. So el blueprint es el plano de la casa, por ejemplo. So a traditional research design is a blueprint. It's a plan, again, a detailed plan to complete the research study, selecting a method, a sample, yes, the population, the participants, how you're going to collect data and analyze the results. And finally, Kumar says a research design is a procedural plan that is adopted by the researcher to answer questions validly. Again, what we were trying to say here with rigor. Yes, with rigor. Somos rigurosos. Y recuerden algo que habíamos visto el semestre pasado sobre validity. Yes, our research results have to be valid. Yes, objective that we read about also last class, objective, accurate, and economical. Yes, also. If you're going around, coming, going, that can be not economical in time if you don't have a plan. And as I told you, if you don't follow the steps, you have to go back all the time, and that is not economical. Yes, not only in money, but also in time. ¿Sí? Si no sigo todos los pasos, entonces tengo que volver atrás, pierdo tiempo. So economically, how am I going to get to my objective and answer questions validly, objectively, accurately, and economically? So we need to decide on the plan, and that is the methodological framework, the organization of that section of the project. So what is the function? We said that we need to name the study design, as we said, qualitative, phenomenological, or if it is quantitative, it can be experimental, yes? So you need to name your design, provide detailed information about these following aspects. Who will constitute the study population, see, the participants? How will that population be identified? You also add that to your methodological framework. The method of data collections. So for example, Araceli was mentioning interviews, analysis of documents. So that is data collection. The method for data analysis. We saw in Kember, Dr. Kember and his students applied statistical analysis. And so you also write that. If not, if it is qualitative, then you have content analysis, you have thematic analysis. Yeah? So you have other kinds of analysis. And ethical issues, of which we also read about which we also read last semester. Yes. So Remember, in general, ethical issues, you have to respect your participants. Don't force them to participate. Respect their answers. Yes, their experience that they are sharing, and not impose your own understanding, your own feelings to what you're reading. So Kumar, pages, okay, chapter 7. So those are in general the functions of a research design, and that's why we need to pay so much attention to how we choose this design and how we arrange it. Yes, and one part is the method. So remember that in Kumar last semester, we saw that we have 3 types of research, 3 perspectives: the applications of the findings, the objectives, or the mode of inquiry. And here we have two of the examples. One is the research design according to objectives. And this is what I was mentioning before, whether we want to just describe a situation or we are exploring something unknown, un área desconocida. So for example, just thinking from the top of my head, Alejandra and Eileen, who had a new topic being researched, they can also have an exploratory research project, investigating something new and the possibilities to find something new in that area, which has not been researched before. Or it can be an explanatory research, that research in which we try to explain the experiences, for example. And then we have a correlational studies in general, also the experimental studies, in which we have the influence of different variables, a relationship between variables, which is another kind of research design. So this is in Kumar chapter 1, and this is the exam. Those are the examples we already also mentioned them last semester. But now we will be going again. I'm just here. I will add. So we are just revising what we have already revised from last semester. And these materials, you will also have to go back to those chapters in case you need more information, deeper information. So we have research according to objectives. This is it. Then when you go back to your project, little by little, we will analyze which kind of research design is each one of them. But you can already think, yes, of your research, project up to now, whether you are going towards descriptive, towards explanatory, towards exploratory, or towards a correlational design. Walliman also has this more detailed research designs in the first chapter that you also read. Yes, for example, Lucas read that chapter. So Walliman has more detailed ones, but that they can be related to these 4 big ones. Okay. And then we have another way to look at research that is according to the mode of inquiry. So this is your next task. Research according to the mode of inquiry. And here is where we go into qualitative and quantitative. We have a mixed, we have seen a little bit, yes. And think, what would you like to learn about them? Because now we are going to read a section of a chapter and do your analysis. But first of all, I wanted to look at these pictures. So you have plenty of these pictures, just to get thinking, what can you see in the pictures representing qualitative and quantitative? What can you see in the first picture? Okay, I can. Just ideas, brainstorming.
Quantitative is more I don't know, put more focus in specific things, and qualitative is more general. Come here, but qualitative is more focused. I don't know.
Both are focused but different. What are you focusing here? So look at the picture. What are these little images that represent what?
People.
People, yes, people. And here, what can these bars be representing?
Maths.
Maths, quantity, numbers. So there are people, yes, behind. But is quantitative interested in people exactly, or on what? So what are these bars? Of course, we know that people have provided the data, yes? But what is quantitative looking at the people or at the results of those quantities? Results, quantities, yes? So I have numbers, 10,000 people responding about education in virtual, in pandemics, whatever. Yeah. So, but I'm not interested in those 10,000 people's experiences. Only in the results that can be translated to numbers, and therefore we have the representation of these bars. Yes. Whereas here, this light bulb, what does
Teacher,
here we have instruments. Look, we have a I have to, what is this in English? Well, I would check the word in English. Una lupa. What is that in English? A magnifying glass. Okay, magnifying glass. And here I have a light bulb. Eso es muy representativo. ¿Qué significa la metáfora?
The qualitative is the thinking of the person, maybe.
Yes, so you bring in light to the people, yes, to understand people, like turning on the lights, yes, because you care about people, their experiences, their individualities. Not too many. Here we have quantity, but here we don't have quantity, but we have depth, understanding, yes, enlightening. ¿Sí? Tenemos una iluminación, una profundidad. Here we have amounts, ¿sí? Cantidades. And I can look with a magnifying glass, yes, to see details, but not details that illuminate necessarily, but that show quantity, yes, show impact. Aquí tenemos más un impacto. Yo veo con la lupa, ¿verdad? Pero no veo detalles de personas. Veo números y cómo esos se magnifican a través de esa lupa. Pero aquí tengo una luz, que prendo una luz en la oscuridad. ¿Sí? So I like the images because of the metaphor. And here, again, the light bulb. Again, what is the idea of light bulb? I'm going to turn on the light in qualitative research. So I like the metaphor. So think there is darkness. Yeah, so there is no clue of what is going on in little schools, in rural areas, in Maule region in Chile, and you're going to turn on the light. So think how powerful that is. You're going to show something nobody cares about, nobody did before, and nobody turned the light on, yes? And here, this other image, and what else? What is the geometrical figure here?
A circle.
A circle. So it's not square, yes? It's not rigid. No es que no sea riguroso, no es rígido. Okay, a circle has movement. Whereas here, what do we have here? What is this? I do not know whether it is
organize the information.
Yes, the information is organized square. Yes, square. Everything is here. There is organization as well, but there is more flexibility, movement. circle. Here there is a square. Everything organized, but in another shape. And we pass through a machine. This is very significant because the data in quantitative analysis goes through specific software to be analyzed. And those names that you saw in Kember's abstract refer to this. Pearson, Cronbach, Alpha, all those are different analysis conducted by software, by specific software. So you need to, your data need to go through machines. So you cannot analyze by turning on the light, but trying to understand and trying to bring light from yourself, from the researcher himself or herself. But you need a machine to analyze your data and organize it. Okay, so I think we have said many interesting things. So I was just looking at this to add them in the video, at the beginning of the video, these images. And I like them because they're very representative of what you're going to read. So divided in groups again, I uploaded the materials. I uploaded to Educando's the whole book by Walliman. Yes, so we are going to select. We are not going to read all the chapter 8, not the complete chapter. We are going to go step by step. I hope we have time to analyze this also. But if not, we can continue, catch up next Wednesday. So what are you going to do? You're going to read these 2 pages. So this is the PDF version. Bear in mind, this is only a PDF version. There is no numbers on pages. ¿Sí? No hay números en la página. Es el número es todo un documento de PDF. Y ahí son las páginas que yo menciono, son las páginas del PDF. I will show you. Okay, so these 2 pages, you're going to find out a discussion of differences between quantitative and qualitative study designs. And your task is to read, discuss with your groups, and be able to find these aspects. General characteristics of each, main focus. We were talking about the focus. Remember, always bring light, focus. The study designs, characteristics of them, methods of data collection, results interpretation, relationship between researcher and participant, study replication, and researcher bias. Bias is in Spanish sesgo, and it has been written about sesgo bias in qualitative and quantitative research. So that is also a topic that needs to be taken into account. And so we have this, but you will have you have another document in which you're going to fill in the information. Let me share with you. Also, I'm going to share the, so Kumar, when you see Kumar is only a PDF document. It's not a book that has been scanned. So it's a PDF document. Chapter 8 starts on page 103. Yes. So, here. Oh. Okay. So I need to change this. So it's 103 and 104. Yes. Okay. Here, 103 and 4. And this is 105. 110 is the next slide. If we have time, we will cover this. But if not, we will continue next week. What are you going to do? Is fill in a chart. This needs to be finished and presented. That's it. We don't have anything else to do, but we have to finish and present it. Yes. This is, I can send it to you also by this means, by the chat. And it's also uploaded to Educando's week 2. So this needs to be read, finished, presented, discussed in class. That the task, then the task is finished. Okay. So it's short, something we have already done before, but it's just to keep you reading on the topic. And then we will go deeper into quantitative research next week. And different designs approaches within it. Okay, are we clear what we have to do?
Yes, Miss.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. I will share the document with you. Okay, I will read this out. Okay, so we'll send from my computer. So you have it in Educando's, but anyway, on Educando's, I will share with you quantitative. Oh, what is it? Research, yes. Oh, sorry. It's open. So I will share by means of the chat. If you cannot open, you can download, or I can send you by another means. Okay. Do you think in 20 minutes you will be able to fill in the chart and present it? Present it, yes. Everyone, what do you think? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, so 11:30, then we come together, present everything, and we finish the class. And we will see if we have, but we have the introduction, at least the short introduction of what is next. It's not long, but you have to read some more pages. Okay, so could you complete the chart? Was it easy to complete? It's not very long.
Almost complete.
Okay. So can you show how much have you completed it? And if you have any doubts with the language, okay. Okay. So how can you explain? Okay, so qualitative. Yes, so what we have been talking about. So can you explain so you can help each other to present? Qualitative research, quantitative. Yes, anyone can start. Okay.
Okay. In qualitative research, the general characteristic is that is related to the people and not numbers.
Yes.
And in another hand, the quantitative research, it is related to math, polls, tables, numbers, etc.
Etc. Okay, so numbers and not people. Yes, we already said. Then the main focus. Numbers, yes. Measurement. Okay, so quantitative here, it says it's focused on.
Qualitative is related to interviews for understanding people and their experiences. And on the other hand, quantitative is related to number studies.
Statistics.
Yes, scientists. Yes, it is based on numbers.
Yes, and measurement, mediciones. More structure, more all of the designs are structured, but quantitative are like more structured and more rigid, not so flexible. Okay, study design. Any other? Less specific. Yes, there is a general agreement that qualitative research designs are less rigid, less precise, and can be more adaptable, more flexible as the project develops and data are collected and analyzed. Well, that's true to a certain extent, but it is true also that it's not so rigid or fixed as you have here, as you have a quantitative research design. Okay, methods of data collection.
Through in qualitative, the data are collected through interviews, meetings, conversations to people, the people that you want to know about.
Observation.
Yes, observations, writing, literature review.
Yeah, yes, document analysis. That is document analysis. Yeah, document analysis. And here in quantitative.
Okay. Quantitative, it is about. Génesis, sale de ahí que no veo.
Genesis, yes.
Okay, it's about studies, experiments. It's more scientific, as you said.
Yeah. Yes, and you collect, for example, surveys, for example, las encuestas. They are very much used there. Yes, and Lucas, okay, cannot participate much, but he's, yes, writing something. Yes.
We are a great team.
Yes.
All working.
Yes, you're all working. Yes, exactly. And results interpretation. Yes, so in qualitative, what do you try to interpret? In the case you're interpreting something, what do you want to, do you remember the light bulb? You turn on the light, yes? You understand, you interpret, and what do you do with participants? That's very important in qualitative.
We meet them and the idea is learn about them, make conversations and write their experiences.
Yes, and agree on the interpretation. And this is something very important that qualitative researchers do, that is try to agree, a llegar a un acuerdo con el participante de que la interpretación es correcta. Member checking se llama. Y eso es una práctica que tenemos los investigadores cualitativos, que una vez empezado el proceso de interpretación de los datos, vuelven esos datos a los participantes para que los participantes estén de acuerdo en esa interpretación. Algo que por supuesto se puede hacer con pocos participantes en la investigación cualitativa, pero no en la cuantitativa, pensando que no sabemos quiénes son los participantes que responden una encuesta, por ejemplo, y pueden ser 1000, 2000. Por lo tanto, esa cercanía participante-investigador es muy importante en la investigación cualitativa. Pero en cuantitativa, no, it's more structured. Yes, vimos la estructura en los dibujos. Yes, we saw the structure. They follow a fixed, analysis. Yes, measurement, mediciones. Yes, by means of software and classification. Yes, exactly. Excellent. Okay, and the relationship. Where is this? Like circulating and sharing findings. Where is this? Qualitative or quantitative, according to what I told you? This is
quantitative.
Are you sure?
Qualitative.
Qualitative. Yes, exactly. It's on the other side. Because the qualitative researcher has is nearer to the participants and can therefore go back to the participants and they can agree on the interpretation. Okay, girls, excellent.
Thank you, Miss.
Wonderful work. Any another group? Araceli? Araceli or Javiera?
Yes, Miss Araceli is in the bathroom.
Ah, okay, okay. If you have the document to share, show what you could.
Yes, but I not complete the
Okay,
chart.
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Show whatever you have, and then it's really very short.
Okay. This is the complete this moment.
Mm-hmm.
The general characteristic, the
Qualitative research, yes.
research is qualitative research does not have a definite structure. It results unless specific and precise.
Precise. Well, yes.
In the quantitative research, the general characteristic is quantitative research has a well-defined structure. It has a specific, clear information, and its results are reliable and proven.
Proven, reliable, yes. But there is one more characteristic. It's not that the results in qualitative are not rigorous, as I said, and reliable and proven, but there is one other characteristic, and I think it is in the text. Read again. Quantitative research can be reproduced, because if you follow strict step-by-step procedures, you can reproduce and follow and probably arrive at the same conclusions in another study with other participants. Whereas qualitative can be the general approach can be reproduced, but results are going to be very different, because experiences, for example, are very different in itself because of all the characteristics that experiences have. So experiences of teachers teaching virtual classes in the countryside and will be different, even if I follow the same steps as the experiences of teachers teaching virtual classes in the city. So in that sense, I think results, what the text wants to say in one section, it says about that, about the replicability of the research design. But both are specific and precise, of course, as precise as possible. Then the main focus, we said, it's the qualitative.
And the qualitative is understand, explore, and be able to explain situation, values, experience of a group of people.
Yes, exactly. The values, experiences. Yes, exactly. And the other one, well, you will find out, but they is referred to measurement, to quantity, everything that can be expressed not in narratives, but in quantities, in numbers. Yes. And the design.
Yes, the study design, the qualitative research is based on deduction, and they are reflective.
They are flexible. They are flexible. Flexible deduction.
And the other is design have more clarity, distinction, and data collection methods.
Yes, it's not so flexible. In quantitative researches, there's not so much flexibility, and it's clear and clearly distinctive from data collection methods. Yes, and this is something also a little bit fine distinction there. According to Kumar, research design and data collection procedures can be confused in qualitative research, whereas in quantitative research that does not happen. But anyway, that's an appreciation. But I think data collection in procedures in qualitative research are clearly defined so that they will produce the data we need, yes, according to our to our questions, to our problems, to solve that problem we want to solve. Okay, so it's reading comprehension. Yes, you're practicing your reading comprehension, remember, and your summarizing abilities. Remember, we keep on reading and summarizing every class. So thank you for sharing, and complete this, please. It's not so much, and complete the abstracts. Remember the abstracts for the forum. Yes, so here just this was just very general. Okay, so what we didn't, it's very short. What we can start next Wednesday is the study designs based on numbers, on the number of contacts. Yes, and we have cross-sectional studies before and after, and longitudinal studies. So it's another characteristic of research design, according to how many times do we contact our participants. Yes, so here longitudinal, what do you think by longitudinal? They are long, they are across time. Yes, so this is the same in Spanish. Longitudinal, estudios longitudinales means that the study lasts for a year, for example. And so what do you think in this kind of study? How many times can you see your participants in a long 1 year? For example. So Kumar has a drawing. If you have a year to conduct the study, how many times can you see your once along a year? Do you have any idea? Any prediction?
I'm thinking.
So if I have a year to do my study, how many times will I be able to see my participants?
Related to the chapter here.
Yes, but in longitudinal studies, just your prediction. If I have a year, a long year to do my study, how many times can I see my participants, for example? In longitudinal studies, it is predicted that you see your participants
when the study finishes. I don't know, Miss.
No, just any prediction. Okay, so we will read, because this has to do the times you meet your participants. Yes, so you meet them along some time. El número de contactos, las veces que vemos a nuestros participantes en el estudio. Okay, so a long time. So that is, and there is something else we need to revise in chapters. I think it is chapter 5. What is a variable? And I think we saw a little bit in Walliman, but probably not so much. Just to start with quantitative designs that are also explained in this experimental designs, which are explained in this chapter. Okay, so just to finish today, to round up, wait a minute. To round up, please, can you remember 3 things you learned today?
Today, I learned that the qualitative is a research have a a cycle form.
Qualitative research has a cycle organization.
Yeah, and the quantitative have a machine that start organize the idea.
Quantitative. Yes. So that's so that's a metaphor, but quantitative research needs to process data by means of software. Needs to process data by means of software and programs. And programs prepared for that. Yes, so it's not data you can read and try to analyze by reading, which much qualitative data analysis also starts just by reading and personal analysis, but there is also software for qualitative data. But quantitative data, yes or yes, in analyzing quantitative data, you need yes or yes the help of software, yes, and specific analysis that they provide. Anything else you learned, or any question you would like to ask?
Maybe that we learn the difference between quantitative and qualitative research.
About some differences, yes, some differences, and now you think of your own projects and start reflecting. Okay, so my project is more on which of the two sides, yes, on which of the two sides does it lay? As you read these 2 pages in Kumar, you will easily find out what is it that you are doing, what is your prediction for your methodological framework between and quant research designs, just for short, qual and quant, and you will find that also in spoken language.
We learned that the characteristics of abstract.
Yes, we learned the characteristics and content, you know, the outline of an abstract. Yes, characteristics, contents, and outlines for an abstract. Yes, and your compromise for an abstract, and your commitment is to finish. What did we say? The no, for further explanation. Oh, no, this is not the one I wanted to erase. Take materials to develop the task on Educandos. So on Educandos, you will have all the materials plus Kumar uploaded again and this chart. Yes. Yes. So if we have any other task by the following week, it has to be finished. In this case, we are going to upload the abstracts, the corrected abstracts. Yes. Upload the corrected abstracts to the forum on Educandos. Forum 1, yes? Forum 1. Week 1, and our next class will be on Wednesday. Do we have anything else pending? The 1st of September. It's already September. Oh, okay, it has flown. Time has flown. Okay, anything else we need to remember for next week?
Don't write abstract with conclusions.
Yes, yes, exactly. Thank you, Genesis. Yes, be ready. Okay, yes. So do not caveat. Yes, caveat. Remember, this is important. Caveat. Do not include your conclusions. Do not include conclusions. Yes, conclusions in your abstracts. so far? Okay, so we have learned that in your abstracts. Okay, so be ready, Kumar. Then we start with Kumar next class about the number of contacts, variables, and experimental designs, which we are going to divide among you, and you are going to summarize. And remember, we will be presenting on those designs. So experimental designs, I think, are the most relevant, though in education, probably there are less rigid experimental designs, but they are done because of the rigorosity, yes, in quantitative research. But education works more probably with other designs that we will try to see class by class, okay? And remember that each section that you have to summarize, you will have to present briefly, yes? I will tell you when we start the presentations. Okay, so any other questions you would like to ask?
We have task 1 or still no?
Pardon?
We will have the first task this week or
No,
not?
no.
Okay.
No, next task is in class, the summary of experimental designs. Okay.
Okay, Miss.
Okay.
Miss.
See you. If you
Bye,
have
Miss.
time to read Kumar pages 105, 110. Yes, and we will do quickly that section. Okay. So see you next week.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Miss.
Bye, Miss.
Bye bye.